My name is Jason, and from the moment we got married, she had my attention. She looked amazing for her 45 years. I often told my wife that Aunt Karen must have had many admirers when she was young, to which she replied that she and Uncle Steve had been together for 20 years. I should clarify that this is my wife's own aunt we are talking about. I began to notice that I was thinking about her more and more. I was attracted to everything about her, her hair, her gestures, her always pleasant perfume. I found myself noticing her presence in a way I never had before. Every time she was near me, I couldn't help but feel an undeniable attraction. Gradually, I began to ask her about life and love, hoping to bond with her and learn more about what she felt deep down inside. When, in one of our conversations, she dropped the phrase, "Steve's not the same anymore, and that's it. Boring already," I realized that I might be able to help her feel something more. It was only her possible reaction and potential publicity that scared me, but I could no longer ignore my feelings. The desire was getting stronger and stronger, and I realized I had to do something about it. I decided to wait for the right opportunity to try and make a move, and a week later, that opportunity presented itself. My wife, her father, and Uncle Steve went hunting for 2 days, and I was not a fan of such activities. I knew it was the perfect chance to see Karen alone. In the evening, Karen's aunt came to visit, and we started talking, making a light dinner together. We laughed, exchanged stories, and I felt myself getting lost in her voice. "What are we going to drink at dinner, Aunt Karen?" I asked. "I have wine," I said, smiling and looking at her. "I can have wine," she agreed, smiling back. Dinner went quickly. The bottle of wine finished. Then we talked for a long time about everything, our lives, dreams, and even disappointments. There were moments when I wanted to kiss her, but I held back, not knowing if the timing was right. I was shivering, and my mind was filled with images, one more vivid than the other. I pictured us together, free of all consequences. I got a little bolder and stroked her hand, starting to tell her that she was such a beautiful woman and that I'd never met anyone like her. She smiled, and for a moment her eyes seemed to soften as she leaned over and kissed my cheek. "We're drunk, Jason, and it's getting late." "I have to go home," she said, her voice shaking a little. "Karen, they won't be back until tomorrow night," I reminded her, hoping she would stay. "No, I'm going home," she replied and went into the hallway to get dressed. I knew I had to make up my mind, or it would end in nothing again. My heart was pounding in my chest, and I could feel the adrenaline rushing through my veins. In the hallway, she put on her heeled shoes and threw on her cape. "I have to go. Thank you for your hospitality," she said, smiling, and leaned over slightly to kiss my cheek as usual. Taking advantage of the moment, I pressed my lips against hers, feeling her warmth. "Jason, you realize you can't do this." "We're almost family," she said quietly, her voice filled with hesitation. "But you're so beautiful, Karen." "I've had a crush on you for a long time," I whisper, my heart racing. I could tell that my words made her hesitate. She let the cloak slip off her shoulders, her eyes meeting mine with a mixture of fear and longing. "Oh, Jason, this is unbearable." "I'm staying," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. She kicked off her shoes and hugged me gently, her body trembling. "I hope this stays just between us," she asked, searching my eyes for reassurance. I smiled and replied, "Of course, Karen." Then the darkness of the apartment engulfed us. The tension gave way to a play of feelings, and we gave ourselves to what we both wanted. In the morning, she ran off to her apartment. Her steps were hurried, and her face flushed. We agreed to meet again when her husband was away. The excitement of the secret made it all the more intoxicating. Some might think it wrong, but I had fallen head over heels in love with this woman and had no intention of backing out. Thoughts of her consumed me, her smile, her touch, the way she looked at me when no one else was around. I knew it was risky, but I was willing to take the risk for her. I wanted more, and I wasn't going to let anything stop me. My heart belonged to Karen now, and there was no turning back.